Once upon a time, and a very, very long time ago, there was a grumpy and angry king who lived in a huge castle near a beautiful lake. One sunny afternoon, he couldn't think of anything to do, so he grumpily called for his fishing rod, and he angrily called for his rowing boat, and he rowed out into the middle of the lake. He cast his fishing line into the water with a kaplunk and waited. It was a warm, drowsy, snoozy sort of a day, and it wasn't long before the grumpy old king fell asleep. He woke up late in the afternoon when he felt a tugging on his line. The king sat up. "A fish," he said, and reeled in his line. "I've caught a fish. It better be big," the king said. "A nice big trout for my supper." But to his surprise, when he pulled the fish out of the water, he saw the most beautiful fish he had ever seen. It was all the colors of the rainbow, and in the sunlight it flashed and sparkled like a jewel. The king was surprised, and he was even more surprised when the fish began to talk. "Put me back, put me back," said the fish. "Oh, please, put me back in the water." "Put you back?" said the king. "I'm not going to put you back. I'm going to take you back to the castle and get the cook to cook you for my supper. You're the tastiest fish I've ever seen." "Oh, please don't do that," begged the fish. "If you put me back in the water, I will give you something." "What can you give me?" the king sneered. "You're a fish." "Promise to put me back in the water," the fish said, "and I will give you a chain made of the purest gold." The king didn't believe a word of it, but he said, "Oh, and where do you keep this golden chain?" "Put your hand in the lake and see what you pull out," said the fish. So, holding the beautiful rainbow fish in one hand, the king dipped his other into the water and felt something hard, something cold, something metal. The king carefully pulled it out of the water and saw that he was holding the end of a chain that was made of gold. "The chain is yours," said the fish. "Now put me back in the water." "You've got to be joking," the king said. "A beautiful rainbow fish that can talk? I'd be foolish to put you back." "No, no, I'm going to keep you in a big glass tank for all my people to see. And with this golden chain, I'll be the richest king in the world." And he dropped the rainbow fish into a bucket, filled it with water from the lake, and carefully put it at the bottom of the boat. Then he got ready to pull the golden chain out of the water. He pulled, and he pulled, and he pulled, until the golden chain filled up the bottom of the boat, and then the king pulled some more. There seemed to be no end to this golden chain. There was so much of it that the king was now standing on top of it, and his little rowboat was nearly full. He was pulling so hard that he didn't see that the boat was sitting very low in the water, and the waves were splashing over the sides. In fact, it was only when the king felt his feet get wet that he looked down and saw that the little rowboat was sinking. And in a second, glug, 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 the boat sank. The golden chain went back down to the bottom of the lake, and the beautiful rainbow fish escaped and was never seen or heard from again. And as for the grumpy king, well, he had to swim all the way home. He had lost the golden chain, his little boat, and worst of all, he had no supper.